A recent study examined how many Delaware inmates returned to prison after being released. The numbers were not surprising. In 2009, 76% of prisoners were rearrested within 3 years. In this week's First Look, we go inside a Sussex County program designed to teach prisoners a marketable skill that will hopefully lead to employment. Governor Markell announced plans to expand the program in last month's State of the State.
We should also enable more offenders to develop their job skills and abilities while incarcerated. As a young woman on the east side of Wilmington recently told me, the streets are always hiring. We can't let the street be the only option.
Helping prisoners develop job skills is exactly the goal of the Sussex County Community Corrections Center in Georgetown.
That's the desire across the department. Our job is to house people who are sentenced to level 5 and 4, but we don't want to see them again. No offense to those individuals, but we would like them all to go on and become successful, law-abiding, productive citizens.
They chop wood that will be sold for use by visitors to Delaware state parks. They process cans and cardboard from other state facilities for recycling. There's even an automotive maintenance building where old state police cruisers are decommissioned and other fleet vehicles are maintained. Prisoners sentenced to level 4 incarceration work and learn a trade, ideally developing marketable skills that they'll be able to use on the outside.
The department's interested in public safety as well as rehabilitation, and they really take that to heart here. The rehabilitation component, it comes to life here.
It all happens under the watchful eye of Warden Bill Edel.
There's no bad idea. We'll certainly toss it around and see where it goes, and and that's where we've gotten. As you can see, we're involved in a lot of things.
One of the things they're involved in is a butcher shop run by inmates. Yes, inmates given sharp knives to butcher deer that have been donated by local hunters. The meat is then ground into 2-pound sections and donated to local food banks. There's even jailhouse jerky.
That was an idea that was brought to me quite a few years ago. And said, well, what's your thoughts about opening a butcher shop and processing deer and things like that? I said, well, let's look at it a little bit more. So ran it by the administration and commissioner and everything, and we started. So that's what normally takes course here.
Up next, this building is being transformed into an auto body and welding fabrication shop. And yes, those are prisoners working on the construction of the new body shop themselves.
Everything has to be self-supporting. The tax dollars going back into this. All these projects and programs that we're involved with are self-supporting, and along with teach the offenders a background and skill set.
One skill set Governor Markell wants to expand training for is in the kitchen. He talked about it in January's State of the State.
I propose that we also expand the Culinary Arts program at James T. Vaughn. In doing so, I am reminded of the late restaurateur and philanthropist Matt Haley. He credited his culinary training in prison with turning his life around. It is appropriate that we name this initiative the Matt Haley Culinary Arts Program as a reminder that everyone has something to contribute when given the chance.
Haley, who died in an accident in India last fall, helped launch the culinary program for inmates in Georgetown, donating hundreds of dollars worth of kitchen supplies through his company, Sodell Concepts.
He really assisted in that and made it easier on us to get it done and get it done quickly.
They donated our small wares with the stainless steel items and the Schaefer pots and a lot of the utensils and our knives that we have for this program were donated all through Matt Haley's company, Sodell Concepts.
Inmates who go through the culinary program here get a foot in the door with an employer.
Once they go into the community for the last 2 weeks, that is a paid internship, and generally speaking, there's a pretty good success rate that once they go into a restaurant setting and they have an opportunity to see what they can do, that they will go ahead and hire them.
Once the plans for a new training kitchen at Vaughn Correctional Center in Smyrna are complete, the aim is to connect the two programs.
That would be a beginning program at the level 5 facilities, and then they would transition into the level 4 and go through this 14-week program, which gives them 12 weeks of in-class instruction and then 2 weeks in an internship.
Seeing inmates learn a skill that can keep them from returning to prison is a fitting tribute for Haley's life.
You walk away thinking and feeling like you're helping. I think that's a big part of this. It's not just individuals being housed here. They are hopefully getting something out of this, and that's what we're looking for.
While the culinary program expansion is just getting underway, the sky's the limit for whatever the next area of training will be. As long as the program pays for itself, Warden Edel is willing to consider just about whatever skill development his fellow Department of Correction workers can come up with. Many of them come from other industries, welding and auto body work, for instance, before starting at DOC. So that kind of guides the areas that they'll expand into for future training.
I want to go back to the butcher shop.
Of
You
course.
had some great video there, not for the faint of heart. What
Right.
was that like?
Well, going into it, you think prisoners with knives carving up meat, you really don't know what to expect. But the guys that we saw were very focused on their work, processing the deer. They were being supervised. The supervisor told me while we were there that the butcher shop is not for everybody. That if a prisoner doesn't want to be working in the butcher shop, he doesn't really want them working in the butcher shop for obvious reasons, and they'll find some other area of training for them.
Okay, so I understand you brought me some
Absolutely,
treats.
couldn't not bring back some jailhouse jerky. So go ahead and grab yourself
Okay.
some. Try some. I'll get one too. It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Jailhouse jerky. Good stuff.
Forgive me for speaking with my mouth full. All right, thank you so much, Mark. You can read more about the prison job training program at newsworks.org/Delaware.